at the end of the day, I like the freedom being single gives me more than the love the other half could give me. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I believe this is the second real talk type of talking series that I've done on this channel. And if you know, or if you watched my channel before, you could tell that I don't really do these type of talking style of content, because for me, in order for me to kind of have all the thoughts that I wanted to say um just stir in my head, I kind of have to think really hard because I have a really bad memory. And with that, I normally just take notes whenever I have thoughts for a video, or whenever I have stuff to say for a topic. I normally will take stuff down in my notepad before filming so that I know what to say. But for today's video, it's something that at first I didn't really want to kind of share this type of situation to public, but also because I've seen a lot of people have done it, single and why single. But for me, I feel like my situation is kind of different, so that's why I'm here. I kind of wanted to share it because I've already done a real talk before. But basically, I've been single for my whole life. I've never dated anyone ever before, and that's because I'm a picky person. Well, of course, it's not only that, but that's part of the reason. That's for me at least, it's majority of the reason, because I'm selfish. I don't want to give too much. I don't want to compromise for a lot of things. And I think that's okay, because a person should be selfish. Sometimes you have to be selfish to do a lot of things. And I have so many friends who are in relationships that are just unhappy and are just miserable, and then the others aren't treating them right, and they're still sitting through with it because they just love being in a relationship so much. But for me, I don't enjoy compromising myself to another person just to be in a relationship. For me, I think the situation is different because it's not that I don't want today. In fact, I kind of want today ever since high school. I wanted to kind of that's the period where you kind of explore a lot of things, and I really wanted to kind of explore dating and that kind of stuff. But at the time, it's also high school. For at least for me at the time, I'm still discovering my sexuality, and I just didn't know should I date a girl or a boy at the time. I know this sounds a little messed up, but it is what actually happened. I was super confused at the time, and at the time I was also super ugly. Mind you, my kind of ugly is that I was part of a program where I had to shape my hair every week. So every week I would kind of also at the time I was a little chubby. It's not chubby as in my body is I weigh a lot. It's more of my face is really chubby, and then I have small eyes, and all my features are kind of really. So I would get not very confident in myself and in my looks, and I feel like that shows. And the way you kind of go around high school is that if you are confident with your looks, it shows and it attracts people. But then if you're not confident, then of course you can't attract anyone. So at the time, I was not really confident in myself, and I think that's also part of the reason why I did not date in high school. But also, no one asked me out ever in my life. So yeah, no one asked me out during high school or undergrad or masters. I had a master. I just finished my master degree last year. But the point is that I'm more of a kind of passive person. I don't normally do a lot of things, and I kind of just wait and to be selected, sort of, if that makes sense. And that's just the kind of person I am. And with that mindset, I think one of the biggest sort of downside is that even if you have crush or crushes, I wouldn't I've only had one, but for me, I feel kind of just talking to your crush is super awkward, and also even showing up to your crush, showing that you like him, it's also, I've had a crush in a guy, but I just feel like showing your expression or your feelings to him may cause him pressure, because to be honest, during high school or teenage years, getting liked by a guy, it's not as fancy as for a guy, it's not as fancy as getting liked by a girl. So for me, that's like one of the biggest obstacles I've had. Like till now, like that's I think of course now it's like I could like if I really want to, I could of course confess my love for my future crushes, whatnot, but I wouldn't choose to do it just because that's just how I grew up and it's kind of becoming part of me. It's just how my system works. Like I wouldn't go chase for love. And I was also having this talk with my friend the other day as well. My friend, she's the type to kind of like if she likes a guy, even if the other person doesn't like her back, she's still gonna confess her love and is still gonna chase for it. And that's what I look up to, like to an extent, but I look up that to that because for me, I just couldn't confess. I just couldn't really handle a guy not like me and me continuously kind of express my love to him. For me, it's just an really really hard thing for me to do. But also, mind you, I like throughout my 24 years, I'm currently 24, but throughout my 24 years of living, like I've only had one crush because I was getting crazy signals from that crush. At least I like from my perspective. Like he pushed the door for me. He was constantly looking at me while I was talking, even though like everyone was talking at the time. Like it's like we had like a dinner gathering and then there's like people talking all over each other and then I was kind of talking, but then like of course like sometimes when you talk with a group of people normally like sometimes you if you talk in a quieter tone normally it will get ignored because like nobody could hear you, but then his focus was on me the whole time. I like mind you the whole time I might be thinking things, but he actually was looking at me the whole time. But he was just nice, and then like he would ask me out like to watch the fucking stars alone at night. Like who the fuck would do that? And then he would also take me out to kind of for food after class, just the two of us. I mean, I feel like okay, it's also my problem for agreeing to go, but him, a straight guy, inviting you to try out these things is questionable, you know? But also one of the biggest thing I cannot like it's just hurts me the most is if my crush is a family guy. Because if the other half like or if someone who likes me is a family guy, then I especially if they're Asian, then I have like a sort of like a guilt for not wanting to kind of ruin that because normally for like a Asian parents, like a guy who really loves his family, like normally you kind of have to like for my sexuality, you kind of have to kind of go through like the whole process of like being recognized and or like if the other half didn't really come out of the closet, then you kind of have to also go through the process of like hiding with him, like not letting his parents found out. If his parents found out, you kind of have to go through the oh like
Oh, your sound is not straight.
and that's not really something I want to go through, and I feel like that could just ruin a person, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm expressing my thoughts clearly, but what I'm trying to say is that I don't want myself to be a burden to the other person. I feel like that's the selfish part of me. I just don't want to kind of myself to go through all those troubles to kind of be together with this guy. Like I would kind of start thinking like whether or not it's worth it. Is it really worth it to go through all these steps just to be together with him? It's like for me, I don't want to come out of the closet. Like I'm not saying I'm like straight or bi. It's more like I could tell my friends that I don't like girls or I'm like gay, but then I don't want to say it in front of like I don't want to admit it in front of my parents because that's just a whole different game. That's like a whole different battlefield. So it's the situation, it's super different. I feel like I mean my parents I feel like they could tell that I'm not straight, but it's just not something you could just say it out loud because then you kind of like it's like risking like whether or not they're gonna be super mad about it, you know? I've also tried dating apps, but dating apps doesn't like of course some people find it working, but for me it just doesn't work. Like you have to share your pictures and then you have to chat on there and then you kind of have to meet. For me, if I'm in school and if the other person is someone who I already know, then I would kind of go out with them. But then I just don't want to meet new people anymore. Like, of course, I want to meet new friends, but not new people with the goal of a relationship, if that makes sense. It's just different when you're meeting someone who's just a stranger versus meeting a stranger who's here because he wants to be in a relationship with you. I find it a little hard to kind of commit to. I mean, like, of course, the thought of be active for once is important, like be adventurous for one time. It's the thought of that definitely did pass my brain at times. But also, it's just the thought of inviting someone new to your life. Sorry, my dog is sleep talking in the background, but it's just the thought of afraid of being rejected, afraid that someone might get a little backed off. Like as he know me more, the more he knows about me, the more he might find something that he doesn't like and then back off from this relationship. That's what I feared the most. I also kept on thinking of my other half as like this perfect half, like with good looking, with like a good physique as well, good personality. Like I want my next half to be the one. Like I actually want him to be like perfect in every single way, which it's not possible because it's just not possible. Like of course there are people that are like that exist in this world, but it's just not cool to kind of put so much of your expectation on someone else. I don't know. I feel like me hoping other half, the one for me to be so perfect, it's just an excuse for me to kind of get away from like not dating and not just meeting new people and thinking that meeting the other half would change everything. Like even hoping that meeting the other half would it's like all that I needed and that I need to meet someone like that. Just the thought of kind of relying everything on the other half is just kind of not right. And recently the kind of idea of you don't need someone else to kind of do things with you. You could just do it yourself. Like that's honestly so true and so hard to accomplish. Sometimes doing things alone is a little boring. It's hard to kind of do things alone when you don't have anyone to talk to or if you're the only one there. For example, like you're eating at a restaurant and then you're the only one there. Like it's kind of scary. But I do believe that once you kind of bypass the sort of the scary part of it, then you're actually benefiting so much more because you don't need someone else anymore. Like relying on someone else and hoping to get something from them is sort of putting you at a lower place than them. In a way, they're kind of your savior inside your mind. And if you're constantly thinking that leaving them would cause you with nothing left, then it's like you can't leave them then. And for me, I feel like relationship it's all about like being on equal terms. So like I don't know, like for example, like you versus someone who's super rich. It's like I mean, at the beginning, it might be cool to kind of have someone to pay for your meals and everything. But then if time goes on, different people with different backgrounds, it's not gonna end up working. But also, last night I was kind of also doing a little thinking on this topic and on like why I being single the whole time. And I kind of thought of me imagining my other half. It's kind of like when I was little, you kind of want the toy that's in one of the toy stores and you want the toy so bad. And then you ask your mom or your dad for the toy to ask them if they could buy it for you. And they said no. And at the time, you just wanted the toy so much. You wanted the toy more than anything. And you think that having the toy is something that could change your life forever. But then after like not even like a couple months, but then like after a couple weeks when you look back on the situation, your desire slowly fades away. It's like not important anymore. But at the time, you had the thought of having the toy would change everything. And that's why you got so mad when your mom or your dad doesn't pay the toy, doesn't buy the toy for you. And so I feel like even though you can't really compare relationships to, you can compare the other half to toys, but it does correlate in some way. It's like kind of the desire to kind of want the other half just so that you could be happy. It's doesn't sit right. And in fact, I feel like relationships sometimes could cause you more drama than you think. At the end of the day, I like the freedom being single gives me more than the love the other half could give me. And that's with the condition that it doesn't have any like side effects. If the love has any side effects, for example, like the pressure from the family or the pressure of him asking me to do more and like all sorts of those crazy stuff, then I don't think it's gonna last. And also a relationship requires management. It's not like you agreed to date each other and then that's like happy ever after. You have to manage it. You have to actually put in the effort and the time to kind of manage the relationship through like multiple like at least calls, video calls, or texts. You have to sacrifice your own time to maintain the relationship. You have to respond to texts. You don't have to respond to every single text, but if you don't respond to any text, then that could be problematic. So it's not something that you could just say, yes, I'll date you, and then just put it on the side. It's more of like a commitment. So I feel like sometimes, like at least currently, I'm not ready for the commitment. I don't want to date now. It's just not for me. So I think I'm gonna be single for quite a while longer. And I'm not saying like being single is the best thing in the world. Like when I had a crush, that felt really nice. I've never dated, so I can't really speak on behalf of like what it feels like being in like a dating kind of sort of atmosphere. But when I had a crush, I enjoyed it. It's like the best thing in the world. Like I had motivation to go to class, mind you. I used to like always be late for class, but then at those times I was like early. I walked my dog super early as well. Like I had a super healthy sleep schedule. And mind you, like it's currently the timing of this is that currently it's 1:18 a.m. So from this you can already tell that I have a really bad sleep schedule. But at the time, because I wanted to kind of match my energy to his, so I switched my whole schedule. But at the same time, I also think that I got used to like being single. Being single, it's nice. It's honestly nice. Like even though there are times where you might crave love and you might have like personal needs, but most of the time being single it's the best. You don't have to watch anyone's like mood, or you don't have to sort of adapt your schedule to match theirs. So for example, if someone sleeps really early, you don't have to kind of be quiet after they lay down on bed. You also don't have to sort of make sure to not order food that you're gonna eat together. Like make sure to not order dinner um that have ingredients that they're allergic to. Like being single, it's like you know yourself best and you're treating yourself the best. So if I'm so comfortable in this situation, why would I want to change? That's also one of the reasons. I've always knew that I was selfish because I always wanted to take but don't want to give, sort of. So I'll take responsibility for that. Like even if I do fall in love in the future, I don't want it to be like because I like all my friends are in a relationship, that's why I wanted to be in a relationship. Like no, I want the love to be real. Like I don't want to force myself or anything to force myself to be in a relationship. I feel like that's the worst. It's honestly so bad. I want my relationships to be real and not just sort of like situationships that shouldn't even turn to relationships. Once you kind of get out of the college zone, once you graduate, you kind of realize how there are limited places for you to find potential matches. For example, in school, you have like a lot of chance to meet new people, but then once you graduate, once you're out of school, especially like I graduated last May, but ever since then, I felt that it's super hard to meet new people and that if I want to find a date, I have to use dating apps. And then there's this invisible rush that's keep on like trying to push you to be like, oh, you better get into a relationship fast because you've been single for this long. If you don't find someone, you might you might miss your prime, like 20 something, your best looking age, and you're gonna miss that not having a partner. But then come to think of it, like, why do you need a partner to kind of see your prime? Like, me filming right now, it's to document my prime. So this is enough. Like, I don't need another person to, like, witness this when I have my channel. So yeah. You know, I always believe that everything happened for a reason, and not able to find true love, it's something that happens and life gotta go on. It's like you getting rejected by an interview And then would you kind of not apply to jobs anymore, or would you kind of get back into the game right away and started job hunting again and then going through interviews again, even though there are chances of being rejected, but you're still going to try it? It's like that. It's like adjusting yourself for the better. Like, even though I haven't found my right one yet, doesn't mean that I get to like be sloppy or I'm just gonna wait for things to happen. But yeah, I don't know if I'll find someone next year or 10 years from now, but if someone does come into my life, I do hope that they're adding to my happiness and not me hoping that they're gonna create it for me, if that makes sense. But that's just my thoughts on why I'm single and also just being single itself. A lot of people are shocked when I told them that I'm single. I've never dated, but to me, it doesn't really make any difference if you dated 0 times versus you been in a relationship for like 10 times. It's all the same. It's like it's not like your life starts on the first relationship. It's not like that. It's more like relationships are just add-ons to your life, and a good relationship could enhance your life. A bad relationship could drag down your life quality a little, but overall, your life still goes on, with or without a relationship. But yeah, I think that's enough for now. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.